call this meeting to order at 2 o'clock. Let's start with our roll call.
Davis,
Here.
Jimenez, Kamei,
Here.
Foley,
Here.
Cohen.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, thank you. We're going to start by reviewing the October 31st agenda, which is scheduled for 9:30 closed session and 1:30 regular session. Consent starts on page 6. Page 8. And on page 9, we have focus area status report and a agreement for the Five Wounds Trail project. And then, oh yeah, that's right. It's a very short agenda. That's all. Let's go to public comment.
Blair,
Hi, Blair Beekman here. You have a item on the 31st that you bring back an additional purchase of military equipment item. You very nicely worded the item that it's items that are already pre-planned to be purchased, and thank you for that. I just wanted to remark that, in this era of we're dealing with a lot of warfare at this time, and just a thank you that if we work to try to be really heads up on our practices, we don't have to be practicing ideas of war. We can practice ideas of peace. Please be considering that you agreed to 300 new ALPRs yesterday over the next few years. Really consider that. We have a lot of tech already in place. We don't have to be purchasing a whole bunch more. It's those sort of things that really start better considering for our future. That's how we address the future of war and lessen it. We address in concepts of good reasoning and dialogue. And thanks for your time and how to address these upcoming issues. Thanks.
back to the committee.
All right, we have a motion.
So moved. Second.
All right, there's a motion to accept the agenda, and let's vote. All right, that motion carries 4-0. So now we're going to review the meeting for Tuesday, November 7th. That one's again a 9:30, 1:30. Consent starts on page 6. Page 7, and page 8. Section 3 on page 9, we have Appeals Hearing Board interview, Civil Service Commission interview, a Delta Dental vendor agreement amendment, and on page 10, vendor agreement with Anthem Blue Cross and Kaiser. Page 11, Coyote Creek Trail contract, and air support hangar relocation project for the airport, Measure T project. In section 5, we have multiple master consultant agreements for transportation. In section 6, recommend that item being deferred, and one item on land use consent. So let's hear if there's any public comment.
No hands raised at this time.
All right. Is there a
Move
motion
approval of the November 7th agenda. Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Let's vote. All right, that carries 4-0. So we're on to our consent calendar. There are 7 items on today's consent for the Rules Committee. Let's go to public comment.
Blair,
Hi, Blair Beekman to speak to public record. I had a letter in there about the how to handle the 30-minute public comment time for yesterday's item about how to deal with transgender and LGBTQ issues. So I accidentally labeled it the wrong date. I thought it was for a previous meeting. So that's my wonderful government practices in action. Thank you that you placed the letter anyway. And it was a really interesting meeting yesterday, and that was a part of the process. It was spoken about public comment about, you've offered something that's kind of a family, and that you can be counted on and trusted in how to work towards our better practices and how people can count on you and be can work of good help with you. Thank you. It's important to learn that. I think you've been that way for myself over the years, and I wanted to thank you at this time. I really hope that with the case of Paul Soto, it can really be the same way, and it should be, and describes the process of government as a process of healing and practice, good practice, and that we don't have to harm ourselves in order to work towards those better practices. Thank you.
Brian?
Yeah, I wanted to also address the 30-minute time frame for that one item. I thought usually in the past when they would say 30 minutes or limit to 1 minute, it would be on a whole bunch of different items. The fact that you spaced it out really made a difference for me. It made the meeting a lot more, because that one issue was pretty contentious. It made the meeting go better. So I just wanted to thank you for that. And that's a good tool to use. Thank you.
Back to the committee.
Second.
Okay, moving fast. Let's take a vote. Consent calendar is approved 4-0. And that brings us to our one action item. This is a memo from Councilmember Jimenez, who is unfortunately not feeling well this afternoon. So this item is, he's requesting authority to bring to council next week an agenda item about creating a joint powers agreement for the Cities Association of Santa Clara County. So the action today would be to bring this back to council at the October 31st meeting. Let's go to public comment first, if there is any.
No hands raised.
All right, any council comments?
Just, I have a question.
Right.
Why next week?
Apparently it's
What's the
time sensitive, but
urgency?
maybe Rob knows more.
That's our understanding as well. There is some time sensitivity to this. If you want, we can take a look at the November 6th meeting, but as I understand it, the request was for next week, and there'd be a presentation from the association as well, 5-minute.
Okay, that's great. It just seems short in time, so will staff be prepared with the presentation by that time is my main question. And the second, it looks like we're trying to make that meeting as short as possible, as opposed to get the families who have young children at home back home so they can get ready for their kids to go trick-or-treating. So is the presentation and the discussion going to extend our meeting longer than anticipated?
The communication we've done is it would be a 5-minute presentation maximum, and it wouldn't be from our staff, it would be from theirs. This is purely for council consideration on the JPA. There's no recommendation from staff on this one.
Okay, I see. All right, thank you.
Yeah, so it's a presentation coming from the Cities Association and then asking for our support for the JPA. And I suppose there could be some council discussion on the item, but I don't anticipate it being incredibly long.
So we're not really authorizing the JPA, we're authorizing to enter discussions for the JPA. Is that the request? Thank you.
Councilmember Kevin Fisher, we've agendized it so that you can discuss it, but if the council wished to approve moving forward with the JPA at that time, the council would have the option to do that. We've agendized it for either.
I think
guess
the
my
request from the
but we're-
outside for us to approve it. That's the request.
So
being
there
brought
will
to
be
us.
enough detail in the memo or the information we receive that we'll be able to make that decision to say, yes, we want to do this, or it will come back to us and say, these are the details now.
I actually spoke with Sarah Zarate right before the meeting. The staff, if you agendize this for next week's meeting, staff will do a supplemental memo, and we will also, there's a draft JPA agreement, and that'll be posted as well.
Okay, great, thank you.
So we would be agreeing to participate, but of course the formation of the JPA will depend on enough other cities also agreeing to be part of the JPA, right?
Yes, there's a, council member, there's a threshold, I believe it's 7 or 8 cities that have to join before the JPA forms.
Okay. All right, so is there a motion to agendize this item for the October 31st meeting?
I'll make the motion.
All right, Councilmember Davis has made the
I'll
motion.
second it.
Seconded by the Vice Mayor. All right, let's vote. All right, that motion carries 4-0. And that brings us to today's open forum.
Blair?
Hi, thank you, Claire Beekman. Good luck with how the future of San Jose can relate to concepts of the VTA process and its current 5 members that I think are on the BOD Board of Directors staff. How that can be possibly reduced to 3 or 2. I think that's going to be an important conversation for the future of the previous item that you talked about. Good luck in being open to that conversation and what can take place. I think it's reasonable to, in that ask that has been addressed before. I don't like it all that much as well in being from San Jose, and I know the importance of what having a few persons from San Jose on the VTA board, additional members, can mean. But 5 may be a bit too much, and good luck how it can be a time to better address that issue with this new association of cities that you're talking about with this item, or previous item. And to quickly conclude, I guess it's going to be my theme for a while. You know, I was a bit, and it was a really interesting city council meeting yesterday, I felt. You know, good choices and good words from people. I think what you guys are lacking is that you still really don't really know how to talk about check accountability practices very well. I hope you can really work on that issue and at least have questions available, you know, when these items come up that are questions, real questions about check in our future and how we use it. Councilperson Ortiz offered some interesting questions. It's a real important concept to learn how to be we don't have to, we can work towards public safety, and that doesn't mean we have to always be purchasing more and more new tech. And that's important lessons to learn. Civil protections are important to learn. Good luck on how to really talk about those things and understand those things. Those work towards peace, not war, that I hope you can really be addressing. Don't choose war. Please choose ideas of peace and participatory democracy. Thank you.
Gail Ann.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to say thank you for the meeting last night to everybody for 8.2 and 8.3. It was a little surprising to me that a lot of the council members did support maybe even not giving money to Home First, or a couple of them. The question is, they're not being held accountable. Now, I've reached out to some of the residents at the arena. They are going to have a conversation with staff at Deb Davis's office. You need to contact the people that live in these places, not have staff pick the people, you know, not hand pick the people. You need to hear from the people that live in the tiny homes, in the Arena Hotel. And also, we also think that, you know, we have housing going out there and talking to people, and you need to hold people accountable. I'm sorry. I just don't think a lot of people are being held accountable. And when I'm out there and I hear these stories, it's heartbreaking. And that's all I have to say. But it was a wonderful meeting. And we just have to hold people accountable. I truly believe that somebody needs to do ask Home First to open up their books. I'd like to know where the 2 million went to that Apple gave them to help the unhoused. Oh, it didn't help much. Also, all the millions that the Water District gave the city for the funding over there at Corey Court. What happened to all that money to Home First? So again, thank you all and have a great afternoon.
Back to the committee.
All right, thank you. We are adjourned at 2:14 p.m.